sisters, they often say something along the lines of, "Really? Y'all look nothing alike." Or they have the complete opposite reaction, like that one Smoothie King worker who asked if we were twins. Although I don't personally think we look like twins, I've always thought Kendall is the most beautiful person inside and out. And I feel genuinely lucky whenever I get to tell people she's my sister. Kendall and I haven't always been as close as we are now, but I do know she's always been there for me. Like once when I was about the ripe age of 1 year old, and I somehow managed to fall into the pool. Before my parents could even get up from their chairs, Kendall heroically jumped in to save me. Even though Kendall reminds me of this moment every time she needs to win an argument, I can now say Kendall has saved my life literally and figuratively. Without Kendall, I know for a fact my life would be so boring. She brings so much joy into my life, and this is definitely evident by the number of times she frequently pees her pants by hysterically laughing. Her jokes never fail to put a smile on my face, even if it's that one joke where she says I look like younger Gypsy Rose. But in all seriousness, when she's gone, I truly don't know what I'll do with myself. And I think one of the first times I realized this was recently, on a random Tuesday night this summer, when I came home from work, and Kendall handed me a pair of scissors, and I got to work. Now, don't ask me why she trusted me with the task of chopping her hair, but I personally believe that I did a pretty good job. And I'm still constantly finding little strands of ginger hair in our carpet. From the late-night Sonic runs to spontaneous nights spent at Chow's, she'll always be by my side, even if her assignment center is flooded. She's the type of sister to sacrifice her trips just to stay home with me and comfort me, and she's the type of sister to make sure I never have to fight any of my battles alone. Kendall, you're gonna go far. Now introducing my sister and your Chapel Talk speaker, Kendall Danielle Ownby.
Thank you, Lily, for your thoughtful introduction. Thank you to my parents for constantly supporting me through my endeavors. I love you all so much. Shout out to my sweet rat, Riley. Everyone says your time at GPS will fly, which is true, but I want to advise you to also appreciate every bond along your seemingly quick journey at this school. Kendall and Blue, I responded quickly. Typically dreaded get-to-know-you games on the first day of school seemed straightforward to third grade me this time. For context, here is third grade me, not the girliest girl. The question of favorite color was easy for me, as it was for the other girls who answered blue. There's nothing a third grade girl fears more than being perceived as basic, falling into the typical expectations of girls. So, as the mix of loud and quiet personalities answered, blue was echoed over and over again. With each new grade and each new get-to-know-you game, Kendall and Blue was my default answer. After graduating 5th grade, where of course I still claimed to like blue, I applied to GPS. And at the time, I had no idea how much this school would impact me. This realization came at an unexpected moment my sophomore year. My friends and I were at a sleepover in a circle with an excessive number of blankets and pillows. I asked the group, what color reminds me of you? Or reminds you of me? The unanimous answer, hot pink. Not a subtle, muted, lush pink, but bright, hot pink. Instead of being offended, I felt pride, because pink, not blue, just so happens to be my real favorite color. I now love fitting into the basic girly persona with a pink water bottle, pink clothes, and even a pink phone. I often wonder what my 4'5" tie-dye wearing self would think of the affinity I express for the color now. As I felt more comfortable embracing pink, I'm also drawn to the trending coquette aesthetic, which stems from the 17th century French roots when women wore extravagant frilly dresses. Now, this term is used to describe a hyper-feminine style of pink, bows, and ruffles. You just have to glance at me to know my love for this style. In fact, the rowing team awarded me most coquette at the end of last season. My friends and teammates allow me to feel comfortable outwardly loving what I love without fear of judgment. As I recalled that sleepover, I realized the sense of belonging with this group of girls inspires me to make others feel just as secure when around me. The traditional notion of femininity is delicate and suppressed, Yet I find confidence in being an athlete as well as an honor council representative. These groups don't fit the traits of common femininity, but the strength of the growth in these groups makes them such successful collaborative programs. I aspire to convey what I term uncommon femininity by embracing diverse ideas and beliefs along with uplifting girls with my actions and words. A concept that encapsulates this uncommon femininity is a girl's girl. Yes, this Gen Z slang may have died several years ago, but I aspire to live by it. This is a type of woman who supports other women and places value in her female relationships. To clarify, I don't believe being a girl's girl means supporting women just because they are women. We aren't obligated to support morally wrong actions in order to support our gender as a whole. My favorite example of ideal girls' girls are my friends. They truly mean the world to me. I'll admit, I haven't always supported them as I should or valued every single one of my connections. This is why being a girl's girl is an aspiration. Making other women feel comfortable in a community is what I deem the most important aspect of uncommon femininity. The women I'm surrounded by made me feel so comfortable in my skin to the point where being embarrassed in front of them hardly affects me. My very first friend, my sister, has seen me through all of my phases, including the iPad kid phase. Unfortunately, but maybe one of my most notable embarrassments is encapsulated in this video.
I just met you and they're crazy. So here's my number, so call me Maybe.
Yes, Lily is still my best friend, even after I mortified us during our high-stakes performance. In fact, most of my friends have this video saved, and they still claim to be my friends. We've laughed so hard to this video, but they never make me feel self-conscious. Sometimes, there are moments when my friends shouldn't make me feel so comfortable. It was a summer night, in a year I will not be disclosing, this year, and we were playing on the playground, as 17-year-olds do. My friend Charlotte and I were on the seesaw, and having just taken physics with Mr. Lyons, I tested a hypothesis, theorizing how to get Charlotte the farthest vertical distance from ground level. As I slammed down my side of the seesaw, Charlotte flung forward in probably the closest near-death experience of her life. As soon as we checked that Charlotte's head was still on her shoulders, we laughed and laughed. And since I'm just a girl, the intense laughter brought with it pee. Let's pause. This moment would have been perfect for my friends to judge me. Instead, one of my friends shamelessly admitted to this happening to her too. This relatability and pursuit to make each other comfortable is what makes me highly value my female friendships. The memory of this infamous night could be one of mortification. Instead, I look back on it positively because of the people I was with. But I'm not the only one who's comforted by uncommon femininity. These are my friends, dressed as unfashionable boys, because of course, the only disguise in which to spy on me at the Hickson Amigos is a fully decked out boy costume. Just a hat or sunglasses would be way too obvious. In fact, I didn't notice them until the third time they walked by looking directly at me. But from what I heard, heads turned in the restaurant as they were seated at the bar. Now, I have to admit something else to y'all. I was not alone at the Hickson Amigos. No, I was on a second date. Even so, I didn't feel an ounce of embarrassment. In theory, I should have pretended not to know them, but in reality, I think my friends are really funny. I value how they were unafraid to be their hilarious selves in public, hence the outfits, and how we were able to laugh with each other without putting each other down. Now, in sharing these stories, I'm not saying don't support men. What I am saying is that an estimated 60% of chronically hungry people are women. Women make up more than 2/3 of the world's 796 million illiterate people. Men's average wages are higher than women's in both rural and urban areas. These statistics are directly quoted from a UN Women research article. Gender inequality is not made up, it's a fact. That is what drives me to lean into providing extra support to women. Uncommon femininity and girl's girl aren't simply cute phrases. Mass support from women to women will help us progress towards equity and proper advocacy. It's so important for women to lift each other up and express gratitude for our female connections. This can be a simple act of making an embarrassing moment a lifetime memory, not remembered by wincing pain, but by laughter. The support of one woman in your life can inspire and will have a ripple effect on all women. So, when I reflect on my journey since 6th grade, I am in awe of how empowering my school has been. My relationships affirm my belief in the strength of a woman, whether she embraces hyperfemininity through the love of pink or supports women through their embarrassing moments. Because expressing gratitude is so important, I'm going to end my talk with a thank you I say for the end. Thank you so much to the girls in my life who lift other women up, value their connections with each other, and cherish the seemingly embarrassing memories made with each other. Thank you.